There we go.
Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of the With That Being Said podcast from the Brothers Blue. And today we're going to be talking about foreign policy. Uh, Another topic that I actually hope we have another conversation about. Um, with that being said, and also I just want to throw out there before that being said is the invitation to anybody who is part of the Forbidden Knowledge News Network. Please join us on any of our collaborations. And so, with that being said, that is Brother Cody.
And that is Brother Kyle. And as he said, we are going to be talking about foreign policy. And so I think it's funny because, we both engage with, trying to be informed when it comes to current events and stuff like that. And so, foreign policy right now for me is it's something that I'm following and I'm watching, and I'm like, is all this just a big joke right now? Because annexing Canada is like the dumbest idea ever. Renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, that's one is just why? Why does it even matter? Like what it's called? It's just a Gulf. It's just a big body of water. And then what's the last one I put? Yeah, Greenland. So
Yeah, Greenland.
and that's just a one-word note, and it's like, why are we sitting here trying to stir the pot with nothing nations and cozying up to Putin, which we're going to talk about later? But I just don't understand these fucking crackpot ideas that are being floated out as the policies of foreign policy in the current administration. Yeah, I just don't get it. It's like a big joke.
Well, the term crackpot is great, and it's so it doesn't even make sense. It's hard to understand because if you want to annex Greenland, then you have to engage in diplomacy,
right,
with Denmark. Denmark is technically the sovereignty that controls Greenland. And so it again, it's like what world are we living in?
So a funny thing about Greenland that we actually I don't think I have talked about, and this is fun for us to bring it up here, is that, dude, Greenland's just a big chunk of ice. But you also think that under the big chunk of ice in Alaska, there's unlimited resources. So that same thinking could be applied to Greenland. Greenland might have natural resources out the you know what, and maybe that's why there's that flex move or whatever, trying to control Greenland.
Well, and it's not like crossing the Atlantic is hard or anything, but ultimately Greenland would be like a gas station. But also you're right, the untapped minerals there, and it's not under the ice in Alaska, it's offshore. But that's a whole different thing. Let's not get into the Alaska thing. Can I get into the first point I wanted to talk about, the political cosmopolitanism.
Yeah, because this is actually
That's a fun
something
one.
I'm not very familiar with it. So
Well, I did actually send you an entire video. Did you not watch that? It's literally,
maybe.
yeah. So there, I am hoping that you will link multiple sources that we're going to be talking about because we already have. But on top of that, like the political cosmopolitanism video has a whole definition that I'm not going to read right now. But basically, the entire idea behind it is that like it comes from Greek philosophy because cosmopolitanism is like, which is funny because you live in the state of Pennsylvania, and I was looking it up earlier. I was like, "Oh, is Philadelphia the capital of Pennsylvania? Is Pittsburgh?" No, it's
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg. Yeah, and
Yeah.
so, but the thing about Philadelphia is it is a Greek word. Literally, it translates to brotherly love.
Yep.
Love being Phyla and Delphi or Delphia being brotherly. And so the thing about cosmopolitanism is it is actually one of those philosophical concepts that goes back really, really far. And obviously, because cosmopolitan is a Greek word, just like Philadelphia is. And so cosmos is like everything, and polis is the city. So that's cosmopolitan. It's the idea that the world and the city are like connected. They have a mutual responsibility to one another, and like we all, yeah, that's the idea of political cosmopolitanism. Oh, it's a tough one to say.
Right,
But
dude, you just keep saying it, and so like it gets harder and harder to say it when you keep saying it. And so like this is what I'll say is I am a cosmopolitan person.
yeah, exactly.
I
That's what like that's what they were like, the ideal human should be cosmopolitan. Yeah.
I have lived in and witnessed and experienced great cosmopolitan experiences in the United States. Yeah. And that's my thing is like I will champion American cities all day long. Like Denver is a fucking mecca. Seattle is awesome. And yeah, sorry, I just I watched a video of someone today and it's just like, dude, move out of Washington. If you don't want to live near liberals, why do you live in the land of liberals? Like, I live in Western Pennsylvania. Two of my favorite coworkers are Trump voters.
Yeah. So what's really awesome is hopefully in the near future we get to talk about those things, about how like words like coercion and competition are clearly like understood by like your by like those are two words that are clearly understood by your bias, and the same thing I guess could be said about cosmopolitanism or being cosmopolitan. It's like, isn't
I'm
that
city friendly.
yeah, like how is that a bad, like how's that bad? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why is there a negative connotation to this term?
Yeah.
And if there is one, explain it to me.
Yeah, it's almost unfair. Yeah.
All right.
So
Are you okay with me going on my next one?
yes, absolutely.
All right. So basically, the idea is that Canada becoming a state would be like the worst thing ever for the Republican Party, because of the natural implications of how Congress and the Electoral College would like shift. Like we would get so many blue Electoral College votes, and then two more senators probably with how large the population is, and then I don't know how
Well,
many
no,
house right?
with the it doesn't senators doesn't matter how large the population is. There are a certain amount of provinces in Canada, and
Right. Yep.
that would determine. Uh, However, the members of the House of Representatives, which actually also the population count determines the electoral college. So
Oh,
those are the two things, and that's the thing. You're totally right, but like a very like a sparsely populated province like Manitoba
right.
would
With the
have like
Northern Territory.
it would have the electoral power of like Wisconsin or not Wisconsin of like Wyoming. There we go.
Mm. You know who has a surprising low amount of electoral votes? Minnesota.
Get okay. So that's all I'm saying is like they would probably literally all be blue. Like
Yeah.
let's be
Right.
honest, they
Right.
would. But and actually, that is probably the electoral college big. It would spell an electoral college victory for the Democrats. You're right. Like I
Which
was
is different.
no, I was thinking about that note that you made, and I was like, God damn, he's totally right.
And the Electoral College has never once favored the Democrat. So
Yeah, the only yeah. I went through this with my class today. There have been 3 times in history where somebody won the popular vote but lost the electoral college and therefore did not become president. That has never happened the other way around, and it has only happened to Democrats.
correct.
Yeah.
It's funny how cyclical and how history repeats itself.
Yeah, I was literally covering the election of 1824 today.
Tariffs. We're
No,
dealing with sorry, we're gonna get to
no,
that.
that's the point. Because again,
Nope. Also,
1824,
stop.
literally
Yep.
200, like do the math, like you're a
I
math guy.
know.
Seriously, it was literally the bicentennial anniversary of the
Of that.
1824 election, the 2024 election. And we got Andrew Jackson and Donald Trump.
All right. So the fun thing is that you have good notes, and so I'm just gonna finish this point because it's kind of the same, and that's why I left it together. Is the people that are like running things right now, and so like the Pete Hegseth thing is like, dude, why is this guy not resigning?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right.
So yes, I agree with you, but like another point I wanted to make to you in like the world, the two people that are watching, uh, because again, like our Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security is Christy Nome, and I.
Uh,
Oh, okay, yeah. Are you aware of that one a little bit?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like she's been I have been seeing a lot of ads from her. Literally like I was watching The Walking Dead and like commercials come on because we're millennials. But it was a Christy Nomad, and she was like, yeah, just talking about Trump's border policy and all that. Like, that's the thing, is like, she is our department, or the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, and I'm pretty sure her only political experience is being the governor of some state. But yeah, the cabinet is full of great people. That's the point you're making, right? Yeah.
So the other one that's in my notes, and I don't even have to bring it back up because I know it. It's Cash Patel being the FBI guy, and it's like, come on, man, like
Yeah.
seriously. And you said this actually is like he is on camera or being recorded saying, "I want to dismantle the FBI."
Yeah.
Like, oh, so we're gonna make him in charge of it?
And so technically the FBI shouldn't be involved in foreign policy. Like, that's why they have CIA attaches for a lot of FBI operations.
Literally called the federal.
Yeah, so they can operate overseas or across borders. The FBI, again, they have CIA attaches all the time.
Sure.
And so that's the thing, is like, I was trying to bring up Christy Nome is the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, and that's foreign policy. Like, Secretary of State is supposed to be the key diplomatic foreign relations
person, right?
department of the executive branch, or advisor to the president. And so that's Marco Rubio. But one of the other branches that you brought up, Hegseth, Department of Defense, that is absolutely foreign policy 100%. That's why I brought up Christy Nome, because Department of Homeland Security, that is foreign policy. But
HS, absolutely.
Cash Patel, you brought up FBI, and like that. The one I was thinking about, but like this is really not foreign policy at all, but it's just like another like nightmare appointment, is Pam Bondi as AG.
So hold on real quick. I
Yeah,
just want to
it's
drill
just
down on one thing, is that even though the intentional scope of the FBI is to be national or
yeah.
local or whatever, if you don't think it has to do with foreign policy, then I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, well, that's why do you think
Right.
the AG saying, could you make the same argument for the AG? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, oh, the attorney general is only concerned with American health, and that's it.
Or no, American law. Like, the AG is the supreme lawyer of the country. Like, that's what they're supposed to be.
Anyways, yeah, we need to get to your notes because you have a lot.
No, yeah. So this is a big note, but I don't really like. We can elaborate on this, and that is the idea that like European foreign policy, or like conflicts in Europe, have nothing to do with us, and this goes into political cosmopolitanism. Is that like, seriously, like and you, this is a point that you make, it's probably the most serious thing going on, because like there are civil wars in Myanmar, there's the whole thing going on in Israel.
I'm sorry, man, dude. Your next note, because if we
About
take
Ukraine.
this long to get into your next, dude, we literally are only on your first one. So your next one says humanitarian aid versus military aid. Do you know what's actually happening in Myanmar right now? they just had one of the biggest, deadliest earthquakes in like a long fucking time.
Yeah.
So that goes into the humanitarian aid idea. And yeah, so again, like you put that no down, so let's move on and go to that one. Humanitarian aid is what should be happening in Myanmar right now because they are dealing with a geological disaster.
Yeah. I wanted to make it political and be like, it's funny because people think that like all of this like aid is going to us for funding foreign wars, and it's like that's
Yeah.
not the majority of aid. Like that literally goes in
Right.
that
Oh
goes
yeah.
into our military budget, and humanitarian aid is a completely different part of our budget, and that is also like why I hope later at some point we can have a deeper conversation about Elon Musk and the things that are being cut, because again it goes in, yeah, into the concept that I feel like people really don't understand that the majority of aid, like USAID, is like humanitarian, and like our military aid is like us giving them old tanks and planes and stuff.
Yeah.
You no, you want to elaborate on it? Yeah, you agree. I gotta let my dog in. You probably hear her barking.
There's just not much elaboration to be done because it's like, yeah, I agree. Because this thing is like, I think a lot of people don't understand that humanitarian efforts are where a lot of money is being spent, and that is where America is lucky enough, especially as a nation, to be able to do those things. And that's, dude, I come back to, or when I meet people who are from generally international backgrounds, dude, we grew up America poor. Imagine if we had grown up Mexico poor, or like anywhere south of here poor.
Or
Like that's my thing. It's like America poor is still not the poorest.
no, but back on the aid thing.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah,
I mean
and
it's, yeah, first world problems. So it's so hard. Yeah. I don't know. Also, so humanitarian aid and military aid, the entire that all can be lumped into foreign aid, and that makes up less than 5% of our budget. So that's what's crazy. It's like, dude, we're and 5% isn't nothing, but less than 5% is saying something.
dude, I absolutely was gonna say the same thing. And like, you don't have that in our in the notes, but 5% is a serious number. Like that's very low. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how much we spend on foreign balls on humanitarian aid. Well, military aid.
Foreign aid, I'm probably wrong because I'm I'm always wrong. But whatever. Um, let's not get into that.
Again, do you want to? I feel like I'm coercing us into your notes.
No, because again, yeah. We can skip the isolation thing because I already talked about that big paragraph. Moving down. Yeah, I just like we can just go through my like you can bring up your next one. If yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Thank you. And actually, I was going to say this, and I wanted to say this off camera, but like, dude, how good is Jack Ryan at showing like foreign policy in real time? Am I right?
Yeah, that show is like weird with its accuracy. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and like it's all foreign policy. Am I right?
Yeah. But also with like what's his face being a practicing Muslim and like, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just that show's got a lot of really good details.
All right. So, and they actually have an episode about this topic. And that's why, like, I literally saw it and I was like, oh, yeah, that's what it makes me think of. But, anyways, so I think the Cold War had a big impact in how foreign policy is being played out right now. And I feel like that alone needs its own separation and explanation because seriously, like the Cold War happened, the Berlin Wall was taken down. Like these are things that happened in history, and yeah, it's like Austin Powers. Oh, capitalism won. You know it better than I do.
Yeah, he thinks the first at first
Right.
he wakes up and they're like the Cold War's over. Oh, finally, those capitalist dogs will pay for their crimes. Hey, comrade. Hey.
Hey, comrade. Right. And actually, I love the term comrade. And you know what? I think I'm going to try to pepper it in on Monday.
Just do it always.
Also, that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comrade's a great term.
It is. It really is. Like, dude, it's another one of those like we're talking about those terms where there's good or bad. It's like that's pretty genuinely positive. It's pretty hard to make that one bad.
Right. Comrade. It's like homie.
Friend.
Friend. It's like, yeah, it's like friend. It's like, how you going to make your friend your enemy?
They literally made a show about it. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, friends. That's
Best
funny.
show ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree actually. So, yeah, and this is kind of a tangential point, but yeah, I just don't understand how like Vladimir Putin on the world stage is a more noble person than like someone like Zelensky. And I didn't put this in, but like even like Pete Buttigieg is a random person, but like people think that like he is a worse person for America than Vladimir Putin. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, well that's crazy because again, I even though I know a lot of people that like obviously support Trump, but like I don't know a lot of people that like claim to or outside of my internet viewings people who claim to understand Trump's like sycophancy to Putin, because that's what it is. Look up the word sycophant.
Yep.
Look up the word sycophant, and that's what Trump is to Putin. So, yeah. Again, I don't feel like I know a lot of people that will like out and about support Putin, but they will support Trump, and it's like, dude, he's literally like deep throating Putin. Not to be, to be vulgar, but that is basically what's happening. And so, the other point that I wanted to make about this whole weird Ukraine thing is that um I feel like and I've been talking to Rosenberg a lot about like the fascism thing, and I feel like and seriously, I hope like whoever's watching this takes it into account. I feel like Trump is like not a modern Hitler, but a modern Mussolini. And so,
Sure.
yeah, I've done a little bit of research into fascism. So, yeah, that is sort of my interpretation. I think Putin is more like Hitler. Dude, the annexation of Ukrainian territory is literally like what Hitler was doing with Austria and
Poland.
Czechoslovakia. So it's like like the historical comparisons are kind of tired, I guess. But like I feel like as a historian, I'm trying to make them as accurate as possible. And the other thing is that like it kind of pissed me off that like people act like Netanyahu is like on the level of Putin.
I think Netanyahu is a very not good person.
I think Netanyahu will have an effect on a geographic region about this big, and the effect that Putin will have will be across Asia and Europe. That's all. Is that
I
like,
agree.
yeah, that's
Right.
all.
You're right.
Yeah.
But this area that's this big has been protected and given to, yeah. Let's
It's
not do that one.
it's the Holy Land. It's the Holy Land for Abrahamic religions.
We already talked about this. So
We will do a whole episode on theology, and I am excited to do that. Yeah.
I'm not.
I know you're not.
That's funny.
That's all.
So I'm done with my notes. Do you want to say anything else until we get to the video screenshot?
No. Well, yes, I do. Because it is the last note of mine is that tariffs are a thing, and yeah, no, it's just funny because like literally like in the news today, it's like I'm sorry if you're living under a rock, then you haven't heard
Yeah.
about like the tariff.
The, dude, the
And
NASDAQ dropped like 6%. Yeah.
dude, 5.5. And like me and Rosenberg were talking about this, like that's crazy. But
That's fucking crazy.
that is insane. So the thing I wanted to say is that like I don't wish that we had John C. Calhoun because good God, he was a nightmare. But in 1824, a president was elected, and his name was Andrew Jackson, and he campaigned on extending tariffs, but he had a vice president who oppose tariffs. And so it's just funny because like I was teaching this lesson today. And it's like, oh, I wish JD Vance opposed tariffs like John C. Calhoun did. And I will just say, Andrew brought up John C. Calhoun in one of his most recent videos.
My thing also is like I love that this is your last note because it's like the only thing I can think of as a millennial is Ferris Bueller and Ben Stein talking about tariffs, and it's like, dude, did you all just not watch this?
Somebody was talking. I was listening to somebody.
Best movie ever and the best explanation of tariffs ever, and you just forgot.
Yeah, seriously, Ben Stein. Like, I'm so glad that. Yeah, seriously, like that is. It's one of the best movies ever. Like, it's just such a good movie. Like start to finish.
Rudy's my people. I'm vice principal. Yeah, sorry. That's like a line mom would say.
Yeah, it's so good. All right. So with that being said,
knowledge is power.